Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TC Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you a recap of how day one of Pro Tour went as well as day two. Kind of give you a one-stop shop and a quick summary as we go into the top 8 tomorrow in case you missed the stream or just kind of want a little bit of a recap. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hopefully you enjoy your stay. If you're a long-staying supporter, thank you so much as always. We will get right into it. The first thing that I wanted to bring up was how day one shook out in yesterday. So in yesterday, we had 5 rounds of CC and 3 rounds of draft. And at the end of all of it, we had 2 undefeated players in Andrew Cook and Charles Dunn, who were on Prism and Aurora respectively. Did really, really well. We had Aaron Shantz at 7-1, who was on Arachne Slip Through the Cracks, as well as another notable that I just remember off the top of my head, and Kevin Murphy, who just came off a Battle Hardened win on Prism, who is also on Prism. So really cool hero representation in the top 8 going into the end of day one already. And that was kind of like the story as we went through the first 2 days. We had a couple heroes that, yes, are in the metagame, but people did not expect them to do as well as they did. The most notable being Prism. Prism, again, is considered a good deck on the format, but I don't think people expected 2 to 3 Prisms fighting for table 1 in day 1, especially going into day 2, which is how it ended up, and we'll talk about that here in a second. But regardless, we had a slew of different heroes, also a bunch of different country representation, which is really cool. We have 5 in the U.S. at the end of day 1 at least. Canada's in there, Netherlands, Belgium, France, Spain, all types of different countries, which is really nice to see in a Pro Tour. You love to see that diversity in different countries kind of, bring pride back to, their player base and go from there. So this is how day 1 ended up with 2 undefeateds. Also, I got this off of Discord, so I haven't 110% verified this, but it seems like they did the legwork into figuring out the win percentages for heroes and CC in day 1. And as you can see at the bottom, this does exclude no-shows and buys. Couple big ones. Kano had 37 total games at a 68% win percentage, and we did see that. They showed some of the teams that are together for this event, and we saw Yanji Lee and a couple other people on Kano do really well day 1 and win most of the games. A lot of people were thinking, do I bring the AB? Do I not? AB's kind of slowly been going down, it seems, in the meta as of late, so I could easily see Kano doing well. Ira only had 10 games, so I think only 2 players played her, or even 1, and she had a 60% win rate technically, but a very small sample size. Same with Bravo. Bravo won 3 out of 5 of their games, so they had a 60% win rate. But as far as the heroes that had a fair amount of games, you do see down there that it's kind of the most interesting one to me. There's a couple different ones. Verdansk actually had a really good win rate with 36 games played, 56% win rate. That's pretty good. Zen is kind of the interesting one to me. A lot of people thought Zen going into this metagame, was pretty much 50-55% into everything. That was the whole thing about Zen, is Zen doesn't have polarizing matchups, but Zen's pretty much even or favored into almost every deck in the format. But in 137 matches, we saw a 46% win rate, which I think is a little bit below what people expected. Arachne Marionette also had a pretty low win percentage, but that wasn't as big. The 2 biggest ones obviously being Enigma and Aurora, the most represented decks. Enigma had a 52% win rate over 471 total games. Some of those could be, and also some of these could be mirror matches is my guess. And then Aurora over 798 matches had 55% win rate. So pretty high there. If there's any others that you want to pick out, Fang had over a 50% win rate, which was really interesting. Syndra, again, not doing as well as she is expect. And then Prism. As you can see, Prism's honestly probably had pretty good drafts day 1, because 51% win rate isn't as high as you would think. Maybe just as the cream of the crop, Prism's probably won most of their games, and others didn't do fare as well. So that's kind of where that went. But overall, this is the win percentage. If you want to screenshot this and look at it, or check in the Discord, someone put it in. And at the end of day 1, we also had, this is the heroes that were 5-0 in their CC portion at the end of day 1. So in day 1, we had 5 CC, 3 draft, and this is what you had. You had 6 Enigma go undefeated day 1 in CC, 4 Aurora, 1 Arachne Slip Through the Cracks, which was Aaron Shantz, 1 Fang, 1 Florian, 1 Kano, 1 New, 1 Prism. So this is kind of where that went. And then this was all the heroes that went 4-1 in CC. Again, a lot of Aurora, a lot of Enigma. We actually had a pretty good amount of Azalea. I know they had an Azalea on featured match in the top tables day one, which is really cool to see because a lot of people think that heroes kind of fell out of favor. We had one Rhinar. I'm going to guess that was Eugene. Maybe not. Eugene might have. No, yeah, it's probably Eugene at 4-1. Eugene is a different animal. One Riptide, one Fang. People were screaming for the Riptide match on stream. They didn't. I don't think they ever did it, but regardless, we had 98 total players at 4-1 at the end of day one, and that's kind of how it shaped out. So all that to say, all of it ended up being this, where this is the people we had in the top 8, top 10-ish. Going into day one. And then as we go into day two, really quick, before we show how day two ended up, this is the calling. This is a picture of the callings. I got this picture from Tyler Broughton, who's a good friend and also does a lot of sales in the game. Definitely go check out his Twitter, Righteous Gaming. But this is the calling, the day two. It's like 890 some player calling, the biggest calling ever. That is insane, and it shows like the growth of the game. It's really, really cool to see. I hope we can I know we will. We'll get the results of how the calling went, but super excited to see how that goes as well, because a lot of people just played in the calling. Like there was a lot of people who dropped and played from the Pro Tour. But there are also a lot of people just straight up played in the calling, which is really awesome to see, and I love seeing the game grow the way it is. But then at the end of day two, this is where we ended up. So going into the last round, we had basically a situation, Brian Gottlieb explained this on the stream, where we had a situation where we would have 0 Aurora in top 8, or we would have, like what we have now, 3 Aurora in top 8. There was 3 Auroras that were right on the bubble, and they all were playing different heroes. None of them were playing the mirror or anything like that. There was one slipped through one Marionette who was Arachne Marionette, which was really awesome to see, that was fighting for top 8. I believe there was like a Vincent or something that was fighting for top 8. There's a couple different heroes that were not Aurora fighting for that top 8 spot. So if they won, then they got in. I watched Aggro Blaze on his winning in on Aurora. Didn't quite get there. Aggro, if you're listening, you had an amazing run, my friend. Definitely go check out his channel. One of the most positive people in the game today. Deserves a ton of love. But super close winning in games. And hats off to the Savage Feats team, being able to show 2 high-quality matches per round. I mean, we got spoiled, to be completely honest with you. We got, we got 9 rounds of CC. We just got 18 games we got to stream and get watched, which was really cool to see. But it all shook up just like this. And like I said at the end of day one with all the prisms, this was the kind of the story of Swiss rounds. 3 prisms ended up making top 8 alongside 3 Aurora and 2 Enigma. So Illusion is just dominating the top 8. But Prism, I mean, it shows you kind of the skill ceiling of the hero. A lot of people thought Prism went down, but I think a lot of people's opinions are skewed because it's really hard. Like the skill gap difference between even like a good Prism and a great Prism is night and day. And some of these players, to include players like Kevin Murphy, players that are like proven on the hero, they get so much more percentage points in certain matchups. So it doesn't surprise me that Prism did well. If you would have told me a Prism was going to make top 8, I would have not been, super shocked. But for 3 to be top 8, that was insane. So we had Andrew Cook, who was undefeated day one, ended up getting the first seed. He's going to be facing off against Paul on Aurora. We have Pablo Pintor, former Pro Tour champion, trying to be the first player ever to win 2 Pro Tours, going up against Leo. Kevin Mercy's going to go up against Sean, who ended up winning on his winning in against that Arachne Marionette. And then we have Max and Michael Jesker. Really a lot of noble names. And the cool thing about this top 8 is there's no mirror matches to start, right? We're going to see every game stream tomorrow, and we're not going to see any crazy mirrors. And there's a chance, depending on who wins what, that we have no mirrors in the quarterfinal either. I mean, if Aurora wins, if Paul wins, Paul and Pablo win, or just Paul wins in general, there's no mirror in the quarterfinals for the top side of the bracket. And then, honestly, if the Enigma and Kevin win, for me in predictions, it's so hard. I think the Aurora Prism matchup is so skill intensive, and there's so much going on there. I mean, we saw that in Aggro Blaze's match. It's so hard to call. Sean and Kevin both I can tell you right now, the match I'm most excited to watch is Sean and Kevin, because Sean is an extremely talented player who's been, known to just be a master at any deck he plays, and then you have Kevin, who's like, arguably, as of late, the Prism player, essentially. Is probably one of the most notable people on the Hero as far as new Prism. So really excited to watch that one. So I have no idea who's going to win this. Let me know below if you have any, thoughts on who you think is going to take it. But super excited to watch it tomorrow. I'm getting together with some friends, really happy about it. Let me know what you think. But yeah, the game's in a great spot right now. I'll put it out on Twitter. It was like just me kind of like reminisce tweeting a little bit. But like this game, watching the Pro Tour matches and playing the game lately, been going to like 2 or 3 armories a week, because now we have 3 stores that support the game in the local area. It's just been so much fun. The game is in such a good place. I think some people are a little bit frustrated with Aurora itself, and I can understand that. But I think the meta is in a really cool spot. I think we have a lot of heroes that have a lot of ways to attack certain things. And I think while Miss Vale and Aurora and Rosetta in general are very strong, I think we're in a pretty open meta, and I think that this is showing it. Like, we had a hero that no one was expecting to, maybe one would eke through in the top 8, ended up, kind of snowballing and taking the Swiss rounds by storm. So super excited to see how top 8 goes out tomorrow. Selfishly, I would like to see an Enigma or an Aurora win, just so they get closer to Living Legend. Not because I strongly dislike the heroes or anything like that, but because it's cool to see Living Legend heroes hit Living Legend, and then the metagame changes based off of that. I enjoy seeing that. There really hasn't been a hero that's Living Legend as of late where I've been like, thank God. Like the last year of the Living Legend where I was like super happy about it from that perspective was probably Lexi. But overall, like Viscerai leaving was really poetic. Enigma's really strong. Aurora's starting to knock on the door, especially if she wins this Pro Tour and the calling. She might go even in ProQuest season. There's a chance. So at any rate, really excited to watch the matches tomorrow. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. I'll be watching, and then we'll do a final recap probably tomorrow or the next day on those matches. But thank y'all so much for watching this. If you like this type of content, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If not me, go to another channel. Leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff. We got a couple creators that did really well in this event. We have Aggro Blaze. Go down to the link in the description. Click on it. Go to the Google Sheet. Click on Aggro Blaze's channel. Go follow him. Kevin Murphy, they do the Table Pit podcast, which is really fun to watch. Definitely go down below. I'm pretty sure I have them highlighted too. They do a really fun call-in live show where you can call in on their Discord and ask questions, which is really, really cool. Even Pablo Pintor, even though their team is like a professional team, like Sunflower Samurai, they have a really cool channel where they just talk meta stuff every now and then. And so a lot of different stuff, a lot of different people. But yeah, go check them out. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time on TC Talk. Thank y'all so much.